It's 3:12 a.m. I'm curled up in the backseat of my beat-up Honda Civic in the hospital parking garage. My nursing license suspended. My name splashed across local news as the reckless nurse who almost killed a patient, and I can still taste the metallic panic in my mouth from the moment the charge nurse pulled me into the office and told me I'd been accused of administering the wrong dose of blood pressure medication. I've been an ICU nurse for 7 years. I'd never missed a dose, never cut a corner. I checked and double-checked every med I gave every single shift. The patient, a 72-year-old man with end-stage heart failure, had coded 20 minutes after I'd left his room, and the hospital's investigation said the vial in his Sharps container had 10x the prescribed dose, with my initials on the label. I'd spent 3 days numb, convinced I'd somehow blacked out, made a mistake that could have killed a man, until I went back to the unit to grab my things, and the night shift CNA pulled me into a supply closet, shaking, and handed me a security camera clip from the med room the night of the incident. That's the first reversal. I watched my charge nurse, Karen, walk into the med room 2 minutes after I'd left, swap the vial I'd prepared with a different one, and scribble my initials on the label. I'd felt my blood turn to ice because Karen had hated me since I'd reported her for cutting corners on patient care 6 months prior, but I'd never thought she'd go this far. I'd raced to the pharmacy, begging the tech to pull the batch records for the medication, and that's the second reversal. The vial Karen had swapped in wasn't just a higher dose, it was from a batch the hospital had pulled for adverse reactions, a batch Karen had signed off on accepting from a sketchy pharmaceutical rep in exchange for kickbacks. The patient's code wasn't from a wrong dose, it was from a contaminated medication the hospital had been hiding to avoid a scandal. I thought I had my smoking gun, that I could take this to the hospital board and clear my name, until I found out my trusted preceptor, the woman who trained me, who I'd called a mentor, had already given the board a sworn statement saying she'd seen me make the mistake, that I'd been overworked and careless for months. That's the third reversal. She was in on it too. She'd been taking the same kickbacks from the rep for 2 years, and if Karen went down, she went down with her. I'd sat in my car that night, so angry I could barely breathe, convinced the entire system was rigged against me, until I remembered the patient's family had been demanding answers, had told me they didn't believe I was the one at fault. I called them the next morning, told them everything, and together we scheduled a meeting with the hospital's ethics committee, the state nursing board, and a local news reporter. That's the fourth and final reversal. I didn't just walk in with the camera footage and the pharmacy records. I brought 3 other nurses from the unit who'd also seen Karen and the preceptor taking kickbacks, who'd been scared to speak up until now, and we laid out every single piece of evidence, every contaminated batch, every falsified patient record for everyone in that room to see. Karen and my preceptor were fired that day, their licenses revoked, the hospital was hit with a $2.03 fine, and the pharmaceutical rep was arrested for fraud. My license was reinstated within a week. The hospital issued a full public apology, and the patient's family brought me flowers when he recovered, told me I'd saved his life twice, once when I cared for him and once when I told the truth. It's been 6 months now. I'm the new charge nurse of the ICU. I run a mandatory safety training for every new nurse, and I've learned that silence only protects the people who hurt you. The bravest thing you'll ever do is stand up and tell the truth, even when your hands are shaking, even when the whole room is against you.